All right, so get this. Liquid AI. It's supposed to learn like, well, us. But even better, or so they say. We're diving deep into this MIT project that everyone's going bonkers for. You know, you've probably bumped into AI before, right? Try and have a conversation with a chatbot, or maybe you're getting those eerily specific ads. But Liquid AI, this is different, supposedly, especially for those of us, and I'm including myself here, who can't get enough of where tech is headed. This deep dive, oh, it's going to be wild. We've got info right from the source, their website, plus what seems like a press release. Lots to unpack. And the big takeaway, it's all about learning, like we do. Adaptable, revolutionary. Yeah, those are the words they're using. But what's it actually mean? In the real world, I mean. What's the magic behind it all?
Okay, so picture this. Most AI we see now, it's like a racehorse with blinders. Runs like crazy, but only straight ahead. Change the track, throw it a curve, it's lost. That's where this Liquid AI comes in. The really cool thing here is this. Instead of being programmed for just one thing, it learns, adapts, like on the fly. Kind of how our brains work, right? Taking cues from those neural networks, we've got to break free from the limitations of the old AI.
Hold on. So we're not talking about a one-trick pony here. This is like a shape-shifting AI Einstein. That's a bold statement.
It is, but the potential,
yeah,
huge. Imagine AI that doesn't just process, but understands, learns from its mistakes, even comes up with stuff we haven't thought of. That's the promise, at least.
Okay, color me intrigued, but my brain's starting to hurt a little. How does the whole thing even work? They keep mentioning these liquid neural networks, and I won't lie, it's got a real sci-fi ring to it.
Yeah, bit of a mouthful, right?
Yeah.
But the idea is actually pretty straightforward. Think about your brain for a second. Billions of neurons firing away, connecting, constantly changing the pattern. Liquid neural networks, they're going for the same thing. Flexible structure, adapts, lets the AI process stuff way differently than the old way.
So instead of like hardwired circuits, we're talking about a flowing kind of organic network that's rewiring itself all the time.
You got it. And you know they say in the material, this way of doing it, it's not just powerful, it's efficient.
Yeah.
Energy-wise, I mean. So Liquid AI could be way more sustainable.
Yeah.
Big plus, right?
Okay, so smarter and greener. I'm on board so far. Let's talk specifics though. What can this thing actually do? They get into all these features, but this natural language processing thing really jumped out. NLP for us cool kids. The idea is AI that actually talks to us like a real person, not just spitting out canned responses.
Yeah, NLP is huge for Liquid AI.
Mm-hmm.
Think about those chatbots, right?
Yeah.
Painful. You try explaining something, and it's like talking to a wall.
Tell me about it. Those chatbots are the worst.
Right. But Liquid AI, NLP changes the game. More natural, like you're actually talking to something that gets you. It can tell if you're getting frustrated.
Wait, it can tell if you're frustrated. Is it going to offer me a virtual hug if I start getting snippy?
Maybe not a hug, haha, but it can definitely tell and change how it's talking to you. The whole point is to make talking to a machine actually, useful. And if it can't handle it, it'll pass you on to a real person.
Okay, now that's customer service I can get behind. So what else? They mention a bunch of stuff. What are the big ones?
Well, since you asked, how about personalized recommendations? Super important now that we're drowning in data, right?
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. So many choices for everything. What to watch, what to eat. It's too much. Liquid AI could help us cut through the noise and actually enjoy our choices.
Hold on. So instead of scrolling through a million shows, Liquid AI just picks the perfect one I didn't even know I wanted to watch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like having a personal shopper for your life.
Right.
New book, restaurant that fits your budget, even a whole vacation planned around stuff you're into. Liquid AI could take what it knows about you and make it happen.
Okay, so it's like this digital extension of your brain, helping you navigate the world and all that. But let's zoom out a little. Beyond all this, can it do bigger things? Solve problems, I mean.
Oh, absolutely. One that comes to mind is education. Think about it. Every student, no matter who they are or how they learn best, could have a totally personalized experience.
So no more one size fits all. It's like every student gets their own AI tutor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Liquid AI could figure out what they're good at, what they struggle with, adjust to how fast they learn, even figure out if they need extra help. All in real time.
Now that's amazing. Especially for students who, maybe don't have the best teachers or resources. It could really change things. Okay, we've covered a lot. Customer service, personalize everything, education. It's a lot. But are we getting ahead of ourselves? It all sounds amazing, but...
It does sound amazing, but it's true. There are always limitations.
Right, of course.
We have to think about those too.
So, not quite ready to say it's going to solve all the world's problems just yet.
Well, let's just say we're still figuring this whole thing out.
Makes sense.
It's like imagine we found this whole new continent,
Yep.
right? and we're just starting to explore. There's going to be good stuff, probably some not so good stuff.
Okay, so maybe a little less the future is here and a little more like proceed with caution, but, optimistically.
Yeah, exactly. We got to be smart about how we use this thing, make sure it's, ethical and all that. But we should be excited about the possibilities, too.
Yeah.
I mean, think what Liquid AI could do, how it could help.
True. Okay, so big picture then, what are we most excited about? What are you most excited about?
For me, it's the potential. Like, using Liquid AI to, come up with medical treatments that work for each person, or using it to, make sure we're using resources in a way that doesn't wreck the planet, or even just helping people understand each other better.
Now, those are some big ideas. And you know what? I think our listeners are right there with us, wanting to know more about this whole Liquid AI thing. And the best part, you don't have to just take our word for it. Remember that Liquid AI playground they mentioned?
Yeah.
It's like a place where anyone can actually mess around with Liquid AI, see what it can do.
You can even tell them what you think. Help them make it better.
Hands-on learning. Who doesn't love that? We'll get a link up on our site so you can all check it out. But for now, back to those limitations we were talking about. There's got to be some downsides to all of this, right?
Of course. I mean, no technology is perfect.
Right, but specifically, what should we be watching out for? What are the potential pitfalls here?
Well, one thing that comes to mind is bias.
Bias. Like, how's that work with AI?
It's a real concern because Liquid AI learns from data, right? And data can reflect human biases.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not careful, we could end up with AI that perpetuates harmful stereotypes or discriminates against certain groups.
That's a good point. Something to keep an eye on for sure. What else? What about jobs? Everyone's worried about AI taking over. Is Liquid AI going to put us all out of work?
It's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And honestly, some jobs will inevitably change, but I think it's more about AI changing how we work, not necessarily replacing us altogether.
So more like AI as a coworker than a replacement.
Exactly. Liquid AI could take over those repetitive tasks, the stuff that makes us all want to pull our hair out.
Oh, I know the feeling.
Right, freeing us up to focus on the things that require creativity, critical thinking, those uniquely human skills.
Okay, so maybe a future where we're working with AI, not against it. I like the sound of that. But all this talk about working alongside AI, it kind of assumes that Liquid AI is going to play nice. What about the potential for, AI going rogue?
You've been watching too many sci-fi movies.
Hey, you gotta admit, it's a valid concern. This is powerful technology we're talking about.
It is powerful, but it's also a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. The key is to make sure we're developing this technology responsibly, with the right safeguards in place. And that means having open and honest conversations about the potential risks and benefits, just like we're doing right now.
You're right, transparency is key. And speaking of transparency, let's dive into another potential concern, privacy. Liquid AI thrives on data. Personal data. That's got to raise some red flags.
Absolutely. I mean, if Liquid AI is going to personalize everything, it needs to know a lot about us. And that means being extra careful with how that data is collected, stored, and used.
So it's not just about what Liquid AI can do, but also about who has access to all that information about us.
Yes, exactly. We need strong regulations and ethical guidelines to ensure that our privacy is protected as this technology evolves.
It's funny, all this talk about the future of AI, and it really comes down to something pretty basic, trust. Do we trust the people developing this technology? Do we trust the systems that are put in place to protect us? It's a lot to consider. But hey, that's why you do these deep dives, right? To explore these complex issues, have those tough conversations, and hopefully come out a little bit wiser on the other side.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here, but there's one more crucial aspect of Liquid AI we need to unpack. Its impact on society as a whole. We've talked about the potential for good, the potential for bad, but how is this technology actually going to change the way we live, interact, even think? That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It is the million-dollar question. And honestly, I don't think anyone has all the answers yet.
It's fair. We're talking about something totally new here.
Exactly. But that's also what makes it so exciting, right?
Okay, so maybe a little healthy uncertainty is a good thing. Keeps us on our toes.
Exactly. We need to be asking these questions, thinking critically about the implications, both positive and negative.
It's funny. We started this whole deep dive talking about Liquid AI, this new, super adaptable tech. But it seems like the real takeaway here is that we need to be pretty fluid ourselves, our thinking, our approach to all this.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We need to stay adaptable, informed, ready to adjust course as needed.
Well said. And on that note, I think it's time to wrap things up. We've covered a lot of ground today. from the inner workings of liquid neural networks to the potential ethical dilemmas, from personalized education to the future of customer service, and of course, those all-important privacy concerns. Big thanks to our expert for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime. This stuff is important to talk about.
It really is. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of liquid AI. Remember, we barely scratched the surface here. So head over to our website. We'll have links to all the source material, plus that liquid AI playground we talked about. Go see what all the fuss is about and let us know what you think. Until next time, stay curious, folks.